Hi there, it's Tom Cassidy here. I've got Peter Blanks in the house. He's in New Zealand right now. It's the middle of the day there. It's the middle of the night here. And he's going to be talking to us today about EFT, in particular, how you can use EFT to get free from stress and anxiety. So, Peter, why EFT? What's that all about?
Hi Tom, great to talk to you again. Yeah, I guess for me, having used this over the years, the last few years, I just find it mind-blowing. It's such a simple thing to do. When I said to you when I first come across it, it seemed a bit strange, but it
Yeah,
works. So if I've got a client that comes in and they've got something that's worrying them or it's on their mind, and we could talk about it forever. But I just say, okay, so you seem to be a bit stressed about this or anxious about it, and they say, yes, I am. What is it you're anxious about? And we identify what that is, then go through the EFT process, which is really quite simple, and we'll talk about that later. And I run the process, and then I check in with them how the intensity has come down, and mostly the intensity sometimes drops from 10, if it was what it was, down to 0 quite quickly. Sometimes it takes a bit more time. But why use it? Well, because it works, and it's really,
yeah.
really quick, and it will be really useful for anybody to know how to do it.
That's fantastic. Now, just a follow-up question on that is, how comfortable are people using something that works, but that they don't know necessarily why it works? How do you find people, your business types that you're dealing with, how do you get over that barrier?
Yeah, sometimes I have to give them a bit of a pre-frame, and they've probably come to me in the first place because they've been referred, so that I'm hired already, if you like, so they tend to believe what I say, which is lucky.
Yeah.
And then I give them a bit of process, and perhaps I could tell you about that now. If we liken us to a nice high-definition TV set,
Yeah.
and beautiful high-def, lovely sound, and I take the back off and I shove a screwdriver in it. It's like we get a zit in our system, and that's a bit
Yeah.
like us when we have an instance where we're not okay with. We get the zit, and it's in our system until we get our system flowing again.
Yeah.
Then that zit will stay there. And what EFT does is get the system flowing again very, very quickly and very easily.
That sounds fantastic. Now, there's lots more of these little clips, and there's links underneath these videos where people can go and get a sample of some of your work and some ideas. And you've actually turned this into a whole 13 by 4 program, which is why we're working on this together, of course, because that's my sort of thing. But Pete, thanks very much for your time. There's loads more of these, so have a little browse around and see some of the other things that we've talked about. But what I'm fascinated about is this idea, because I've got a science background, of being comfortable with using something that actually works when we don't really know why or even how it works. And I think that that's a lovely analogy you've used, and I think we'll explore that in some further videos. But it's a great lesson to know that we don't have to know how gravity works, but we still use it. And I think, so scientists who they're basically designing planes. They still don't really know. I want to say how gravity works. We don't know the mechanics on a scientific level of the actual particles, the mechanism by which gravity communicates, and how one mass knows where another mass is. But you know what? We still use it. I think once people realize that you can be comfortable, you can become comfortable with things that you don't know exactly how and why they work, but you just use them because they work. I think once you've given people that permission, then I think you're doing a great job. So thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, Tom.